hang around?
I think we're all confident in there. I mean, obviously we're in a position where our backs are against the wall, but I mean, the season we've had where we've had our backs against the wall is nothing new to us. We're going to go out there, we're going to play hard and see what happens, but we all have confidence for sure.
Stay on the right side, second row.
Hey, Mark, I'm just wondering if you could look back earlier in the season and comment on the faith that David Stearns had in you, and then also just the overall job he's done in his first year with the Mets.
Like you say, he's done a great job. He's put together a team his first year that's made it to the NLCS so far, and I mean, kudos to him. He's done a good job, and I'm excited to see what else we can continue doing with this organization for sure.
Let's go to Dave in the fourth row on this side.
Mark, this being your first playoffs and this being the kind of run that you guys on, can you compare like the kind of the adrenaline and the energy and like the emotional and physical that it takes to make it through since October started as compared to like during the regular season? Is it like times 10? Is it times 100? Or how would you kind of compare?
Times a million, 100,000. I mean, it's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, a lot of excitement. I mean, this is what you work for. This is where I wake up early in the morning. This is why I wake up early in the morning in the off season, and I train for moments like this, and to be in a spot like this with a great group of guys that we've been working our tails off all year, and there's nothing like it. I can't really explain. It's a thing you can't explain.
Up to Ron in the front.
When spring training broke and then you went to Syracuse and then you had the brief call up and then went back, did you at ever times wonder how far away it would be to get back here and succeed?
Yeah, honestly. I mean, you have these thoughts. I feel like everybody wakes up and have negative thoughts, and it's just, how can I get through the day? How can I get them out of my head? I mean, but I focused on what I can control. Is just, I would be like, hey, I'm playing this game. This is the game that I love, and I'm focused on just getting better, and whatever happens, happens. I'm not trying to force anything, and that was just the mentality I had when I was down there.
Go to Jesse, fourth row on the left side.
Mark, just to follow up on that, is that kind of when it turned for you, when you just kind of let the pressure go, or just expand on that maybe last answer a little bit more? Like, how did it turn for you?
I don't think it turned for me in that point. I think it turned for me when the opportunity came and I just ran with it. I think I've always had the mentality that I was ready. I just was waiting for the opportunity, and I'm blessed that I got it.
Tim in the front row on the left.
You guys saw Flaherty just a couple of days ago. What can you take away from that game one against him and apply today?
He pitched good. He's a great pitcher. I also thought that we had 3 days off without seeing pitching, so we were kind of a little off at the plate. But I'm excited for today.
Go to Peter in the back right.
Yeah, just, you mentioned your journey to this point. Just how surreal is it? I mean, I guess the fact that you're hitting home runs in the World Series, in the playoffs, with a chance to go to the World Series after everything you've been through this year. Do you reflect on that at all?
Sometimes, but I'm just so focused on what I'm doing right now that I haven't had time to reflect on what's going on. I'm just so focused on winning games and making it to the World Series.
Manuel, second row, left.
Mark, you talked about the pressure of the postseason, that it's times a million, but you've somehow been able to overcome that as a rookie in your first, was maybe your first or second experience in the postseason. Can you talk about just what you do, what routines you do on a daily basis that allows you to step up in those types of moments when, a lot of players aren't able to do that?
I am very specific with my routine, especially in the morning. I like to wake up early, go on a walk, get some sunlight, drink my coffee that I got right here. I ground on the field, like kind of meditate. I just try to be in the present moment. I'm just trying to enjoy what I'm doing right now. I'm talking to you guys right now, so I'm not thinking about what's going on in a couple hours during the game. I feel like when you focus on what you're doing at that present moment, life tends to be easier. And I just want to like go with the flows of life, and that's the way I think of it.
We'll come back to Ron.
Is your normal off-season routine? How many weeks do you take off once the season's done, and then do you like go to the gym 5 days a week, 6 days a week? Do you go to a facility?
I'm probably, once the season's over, I'll probably take a week and a half off. The way my mind works, I can't take that much time off. I got to get back into training. It's just I love it. I love working. I love training. So it's not something like, oh, it's a chore that I got to do. So it's like something that I need to do. So I get back into training right away. My mornings are usually like workout at 6 a.m. Do that for a couple hours. Then I'll go do hitting, defense, take a nap, and probably do it again later in the day. So I kind of try to do 2 a days, probably closer towards spring training. But that was my last off season. Obviously, there's some things I want to clean up from last off season that I notice in season that I need to get better with. So it's just things that I think about throughout the year, what I can get better. But that's usually my off season. It's early mornings, late nights.
You have a cage near you?
I have a cage in my house.
And what are those things you want to clean up?
That's a secret.
Okay.
Go back to Peter in the back right.
You mentioned your mindset change, waiting for your opportunity, controlling what you can control. Was that a conscious decision to change your mindset, or did someone give you advice? Just how did you kind of come to that conclusion, I guess?
Ever since I've played this game, I've always been super curious. Just like I would ask my dad, hey, what do you think? I'll give you an example. Albert Pujols was a player that I would look at. I'd be like, what do you think, Albert Pujols? How does he work? What is his work ethic? So I was always like into how to be great at whatever I'm doing, and like curious at how the greats think and how their mindsets are. And so I'd read a couple books. I'll listen to podcasts of people that I like, people that interest me, and YouTube a lot. I mean, I'm just a curious person, and I feel like that just developed my mindset over the years, because I could say in high school my mindset is not even close to what it is now. But I mean, experience in life too has developed my mindset. There's a lot of things, but I feel like the curiosity that I have is one of them, is the main one.
We'll come down here in the front on the right side.
Hi, Mark. Facing an elimination game, is the pressure different in the clubhouse, knowing that this is going to be the last game at Citi Field?
No. I mean, I feel like it's going to be the same. It's going to be, we got to win. We got to win, and that's the mentality, and we're going to play hard until the last out. So.
Any last ones for Mark? All right, Mark, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
We'll start with Tim in the front on the left side.
What made you go with McNeil today?
Yeah, trying to give a different look to our lineup. An extra lefty there today, and I decided to go that way.
Given the state of Nimmo, are you sure that Nimmo defensively is better than Winker defensively in left?
Yes.
Go to Anthony in the second row.
So, trying to give a different look, why the switch with Vientos just bumping him down a spot?
Yeah, because of they only got one lefty out of the pen. I don't want to, give them an easy lane to shoot the lefty whenever they need to. And then with some of the lefties that are in the lineup, just kind of protect some of the righties as well. So trying to space those guys as much as possible and not giving them an easy lane.
A few more for Carlos. Go to Mike in the front.
Carlos, what kind? I mean, obviously Ohtani's been trouble, but what kind of problem has Muncy been for you guys?
Yeah, he mentioned Ohtani. Forgot about Mookie Betts. But yeah, all of them. I think we know how good Muncy controls the strike zone, but it's been really impressive watching him doing it in pressure situation or with traffic. Like, he's not gonna give in. Like, he's got a pretty good knowledge of the strike zone, and it doesn't matter of the situation, he's gonna stick to it, and he's gonna force you in the zone, and we're gonna have to execute, and we haven't been able to do that. We've gotten behind in counts, obviously the walks, but he's an elite hitter as well, and they have him hitting in the bottom of the lineup, and that's pretty impressive. So that's what makes that team a really good team, but it comes down on us executing in the zone, because they're not going to chase, especially Muncy.
Go to Peter in the third row on the right side.
Hey, Carlos. What has surprised you, impressed you, stood out the most maybe about Mark Vientos' season, considering where he started and how productive he's been in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he's just a hitter and a player that is maturing, and then he keeps getting better and better. We saw it during the regular season, and then now in the playoff when, it's a lot at stake, and his ability to slow the game down, have control of the situation, just calm. You don't see panic at all, and he continues to get better. It's been very, very impressive, and I'm proud of him because it wasn't easy. I said it the whole year. Went to AAA, and then got back up here, got back sent down again, and ran with it. And he's hitting in the middle of our lineup. He's hitting second. He's hitting third, and that's a special player here.
Come to Ron in the front on the right side.
When you brought him up for the 3 games, and then again when you brought him up for good, what was it in the reports that you and David in the front office saw from Syracuse that made you bring him up?
Yeah, I think it was just his attitude, the work ethic, and how much he was working, before games. Like, we knew that the power was real. It was just more like the defense side of things, and how much is he working? Is he into, the things that he needed to be doing? And that was basically what it was, like the way he handled it, the adversity. Hey, is he going to go out there, go down there and pout, like, no. The report talking to Dickey Scott, our AAA manager, and some of our coordinators is like, man, this guy's having a really good attitude. He's working really hard. Like, he continues to ask questions, and you got to give him credit because it wasn't easy for him.
We're going to go to Mike on the middle aisle in the third row.
Carlos, in that vein, the way that Vientos responded to the early, if you want to call it demotion, or not making the team out of spring training, and then the way he handled that and, got back up here and the attitude he had, do you guys hope that sort of is an example to other young players that you have coming out? He's not the first young player who had to wait a while to get his opportunity, but you have other guys, on their way up, and do you hope that sort of sets the example that you guys are looking for other prospects in the organization?
100%. That's a great story there. That you're gonna have to continue to fight. It's not always gonna go your way. It's not always. There's a lot of things that they have no control, and they got to continue to work. They got to continue to stay positive. And this is a perfect story, perfect example for other guys. We've seen it with Luis Angel Acuña. A guy that was in AAA, struggling the whole year, didn't get the called up right away in September, and the second week of September he gets a call, and now he's on the active roster. So a lot can change, and we could use those examples for years to come. That baseball, you never know, you can't predict it, and you're one phone call away, you injury away, you just never know. You just got to be ready, and make that decision a little bit easier on us when we're looking down and see what's next, who's next, who do we have available there. They got to make sure that they put themselves in that in the conversation. So great story here, and obviously something good for the organization moving forward.
All the way on the left to Howie.
Carlos, when you look at what your team has been through in the last month with all of the travel and all of the pressurized games, when you get to this point with everything that they've been through, do you have any concerns at all about the ability to stay focused in the moment, or is it just the DNA of a Major League ball player that allows him to shut all the outside possibilities off?
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. And the character of this team and the individuals there is impressive. And I could see it. I could sense it today. I walk in the hitters meeting today, and it's, yeah, we know where we at. And backs against the wall, and the attitude, just people smiling, and that's who we are. There's not tomorrow for us, So, but we've been in this situation before, so nothing new. And the quality of the people. We're not talking about just the quality of the players, but just the makeup and the way they show up every day. And here we are, But that's a special group there.
What would you read into an individual that might concern you if that particular player maybe isn't where you'd like him to be under the circumstances?
Yeah, I think, developing the relationships throughout the year and having conversations with them, like, as soon as you see them, you could tell by their face, by the body language. There's a lot that, from my end, I know it's like, okay, these guys, probably down a little bit today, or you know what, I'm not feeling the energy. I said, today, that's not the case, and I'm not surprised by it. But yeah, I think it's just getting to know the individuals, getting to know your players, and relying on your coaches, because our coaching staff, they got a good feel for our players as well. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Go to Barry in the second row.
Hey, Carlos, 2 years ago, and you were there, and Aaron Judge was a pending free agent. Aaron Boone was pretty vociferous that at the end of the playoffs, he said that he did not want this to be Judge's last game in a Yankee uniform. You're kind of in the same situation now with Alonso. What's your feelings as at some point his free agency is pending, whether you win today, lose today, it's coming?
Yeah, I'm not looking at it that way. Nobody in here is looking at it that way. The way we see it is we got to go out there and win a baseball game, and I'm not seeing it as this could be Pete Alonso's last game with the New York Mets. We see it as we have a really good opportunity to continue to play baseball, and that's what we'll do. We got to go out there and we got to get the job done. But I haven't crossed my mind, to be honest with you. So, and I wasn't the manager when Judge went through it, but as a coach when I was there, that never crossed my mind either. Like our job that day was to win that game, and then let the rest play out. Same thing here. Our job is to go out there and play and win today, and then let's continue to let it play out and see what happens.
Go to Andrew in the second row.
Is there any sort of benefit to facing Flaherty 2 times in a week span?
Yes and no. But this is a game of adjustments. Yeah, we saw him recently, but he also saw our hitters. So he's got a good feel for what we're trying to do. and we're going to have to make some adjustments, and he will make some adjustments. So, yeah, we'll game plan and all that, but we got to go out there and execute because, like I said, they're going to be ready to adjust, and we have to be ready to make adjustments when we need to.
All right, I think we have a couple in Spanish right up in the front on the right side. Yep.
Carlos, buenas tardes. Vengo desde Ecuador porque en gran parte hay un interés de la comunidad venezolana en los Mets, gracias a ti. Tú siempre hablas de que es un privilegio estar aquí, pero ¿te has puesto a pensar en el impacto que tienes en la comunidad latina ser el manager de los Mets, un equipo tan grande en Estados Unidos?
Sí, mira, de verdad es un honor y es un privilegio, como siempre lo he dicho, y tener esta oportunidad de representar no solamente a Venezuela, sino a toda una comunidad latina es un privilegio. Para nosotros los latinos no es fácil venir a un país pues y conseguir tus sueños y luchar por tus sueños. Y mira, gracias a Dios pues con mucho trabajo, con mucho respeto, con mucha humildad pues uno se levanta, te enfrentas obstáculos y esa es la vida. O sea, a mí me tocó aquí mediante la plataforma del béisbol de Grandes Ligas, pero en la vida en general pues muchos van a llevar golpes y uno tiene que buscar la manera de levantarse, de luchar por tus sueños. Y para mí de verdad que es un honor y es un privilegio poner el uniforme de los Mets de Nueva York como manager de Grandes Ligas y representar, como te digo, no solamente Venezuela, sino a la comunidad latina, a los latinos, porque no es nada fácil para nosotros.
Take two more, David, on the right side, and then we'll come up and finish in the front.
Carlos, lo que han hecho en las últimas 3 semanas, el último mes, es algo que se puede calificar como mágico. Entonces, la pregunta es, o si puedes hablar del deseo de tu parte y de los jugadores, de que esto no se acabe.
Sí, obviamente, pues esa es la meta, que esto no acabe aquí en el día de hoy. Hemos luchado, hemos peleado por mucho tiempo. Y mira, vamos a salir a competir, vamos a dar el todo por el todo y con la mentalidad de un día a la vez. No sabemos que no tenemos mañana y que tenemos que hacer lo necesario para ganar el juego de hoy y después preocuparnos por los próximos días. Ha sido de verdad algo increíble y mira, yo sigo teniendo mucha fe y los muchachos están muy positivos en el día de hoy, como siempre lo han estado. No es la primera vez que estamos en esta situación y de verdad con confianza de que hoy vamos a lograr lo que estamos buscando.
We'll finish up front.
Carlos, ya tienes 11 juegos de postemporada como manager. Ya lo habías vivido en el pasado como bench coach con los Yankees de Nueva York. ¿Qué has aprendido? ¿Con qué te quedas de esta experiencia, de estos primeros 11 juegos como manager de los Mets en una postemporada?
Sí, mira, es un privilegio y un honor de verdad tener la oportunidad de estar jugando juegos de playoff en Grandes Ligas, jugando aquí en octubre. En mi caso, pues, primer año como manager, pues, que tenga esta oportunidad es un privilegio, de verdad, dándole las gracias a Dios. Juegos intensos, obviamente uno dirige completamente diferente a una temporada regular de 162. Tú tienes que jugar cada día, pues, con lo que tú tienes disponible y todas las cartas están, tirarlas a la mesa. Pero también he aprendido que tienes que disfrutarlo. Es un privilegio y es una de las cosas que he tratado de hacer, tratar de disfrutar cada momento, cada segundo, porque esta oportunidad pues no se presenta todos los años, no es fácil llegar aquí, y de verdad que qué honor y qué privilegio de poder vivirlo.
All right, thanks, Carlos. We'll see you post game.